Was trying to stay closer to the baseline, trying to take that ball a little earlier. It's been difficult for her to do, though, the depth that Ostapenko's been throwing at her.
And again, there was some brilliant ground hitting from Ostapenko, but then the mistakes come in.
Well, it's Curtis right on the line, but she is kind of living on those lines at the moment on either side of them.
Advantage.
Welcome to an Ostapenko match.
Lights for service.
And again, that's a shot. She doesn't have to hit that fine, doesn't have to be that close to the line with the amount of pace she's getting on the shot.
Literally take 5% off that. A little bit more spin, and it's your game. The bigger of the two.
Advantage, Miss Ostapenko.
This time it works. This time she sees it out. All the fun of the fair so far from Jelena Ostapenko. And we are on serve early in this match.
Ostapenko leads 2-1 first set.
So Ostapenko delivering what we expected her to. Again, just whether she needs to, whether she can change it up and just be a little bit more conservative. Not sure she has that within her game plan, within her mindset yet. Again, it makes for very entertaining viewing indeed.
You certainly wouldn't expect her to get to the semifinals of a Grand Slam, to have won a Grand Slam playing a certain way, to all of a sudden change it. But one of the things that Ostapenko can continue to do is make just little adjustments. You know, when she's a little more in a defensive position.
Time.
So they come into the bright sunshine. It's getting pretty warm today, not by any means as warm as it was in the first week, although again we expect it to get very hot for this part of the world over the weekend. And Kerber at 1-2.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Settling in, a lot of noise. Guys here, what a day yesterday was. Champions make adjustments too, by the way. I think Ostapenko's going to become a better player, and she's going to add more to her game, and she's going to learn. She's going to capitalize on what she's got. I mean, look at the great players. I mean, you're not telling me Serena hasn't learned over the years how to improve her game, or Rafa Nadal on the grass. I mean, you can go on and on.
Definitely all Those players you talk about, they've gotten better over the years. That's why they're still out here and playing at the level that they're playing at. Another great champion, ambassador, sport, Billie Jean King.
Game is Kerber.
So for all the guns firing of Ostapenko, it's a straightforward hold for Kerber.
2 games all, first set.
Kerber is just so steady out there. She is unfazed. Winners going past her. She also understands when it's time to dig in. She's putting the pressure on Ostapenko.
Slice. Both of them, actually.
Love 15.
Maybe she expects all of these shots to go in.
She does. I think she does.
That she missed that ball. I mean, that's a low percentage shot. She tried.
15 all.
I mean, I have to confess, John, I was a hitter of the ball, and sometimes I felt like you could hit a winner from anywhere, no matter how low the ball was, no matter how high. And that's good or bad, the mentality of a big hitter.
Fifteen, 13.
Used that shot quite a bit already.
Well, good second serve to open up the court.
And that's another instance of Ostapenko seeming to just pull back just a little bit, getting a little more spin, bring that ball in, a little more trajectory.
She uses a kick, slice, mix on her second serve. Kerber's got to be alert to that on the ad court. Not get burned on that serve 14. Now that she's got break point.
Two break points have been stared down early in this set.
Yes.
In for set, I think, just in the corner there. Now coaching Kerber.
Advantage with Ostapenko.
Closes it out. Once again, Ostapenko steering through choppy waters on her serve.
Miss Ostapenko leads 3-2 first set.
So no surprises so far from either player in the way they're playing. We kind of knew what to expect from Ostapenko. It kind of makes for pretty entertaining watching. It must make for sometimes rather frustrating watching as a coach. As you say, just rein it in occasionally, manage the game a little bit better, but can't change a creature of habit sometimes.
I don't think you want to change that part of her. I mean, she unsettles opponents. I mean, you're sort of not sure what you're going to get. I mean, she's completely dictating what's happening out there. I mean, if you look, this, you know, I'm not a stats guy, but she's already had 14 winners, 10 unforced, whereas Kerber has had 3 winners. The way, if I'm looking at this correctly, let me see if I've got this right. And no unforced. Okay, so she's just sort of waiting to see what she does, and that's not really the way she wants to play. She wants to be able to dictate at times also, and it's like she takes the racket out of your hand a little bit. That's frustrating. That's difficult. That's stressful. And I think right now, to me, Kerber looks a little bit more wound up than Ostapenko, even though she's been there a lot more often in this position in Grand Slam semi.
Love 15.
If you look at the players that Kerber's gone through to get to this stage, the biggest hitter would have been Osaka. The last couple of matches, Kerber's played players who are a little more tactical, a little more strategic, so maybe she's also having to sort of reacquaint herself with this kind of pace coming at her.
$30-15.
It is amazing to think that where patience is rewarded more than any other event, the French, that's the one she's won.
Back with forehand slice.
40-13.
That was an excellent return from Ostapenko, finding a way to get that ball back, using a bit of slice.
For the first time in this match, Ostapenko had a chance to break.
Advantage, Miss Ostapenko.
What a serve on break point from Kerber.
You can't give that serve away if you're Ostapenko. That's lefty's bread and butter out wide. I would force her to go up the middle there.
Advantage, Miss Kerber.
Ostapenko trying to focus on getting a little more angle on that backhand, just hitting down on it as a result.
Game is Kerber.
Little cry of encouragement from Kerber to herself as she holds.
3 games all, first set.
Nothing between them on the board, and very little between in the play we've seen so far. Different styles, but very evenly matched.
doubting her luck a little bit, but then finding the winner.
Well, obviously, the point Kerber should have won, should have put away the ball a few shots earlier. Let Ostapenko back in the point. Maybe tuck away that drop shot for a few games. She's starting to use that a bit too much here. Surprised to see Kerber back off, and wait on that serve. Allow Ostapenko to control the court. Look where she hits the second serve. I mean, that ball's just sitting there waiting to be attacked.
It almost looks like that's Kerber's game plan out here today. Just sit back, make balls, and give Ostapenko a chance to miss.
I would understand that completely, except on second serves. That's where she really has to go after the ball and be aggressive.
And that's a little different than the way Kerber has been playing. I mean, she's been a little more aggressive her last few matches. Maybe Kerber's pulling out the sleeper play, though. She was sitting back first 6 games or so. Now it looks like she's trying to step in just a little more, put additional pressure on Ostapenko.
Again, the mistake comes from Ostapenko, and again, she'll have to save break point.
Third game already on serve. She's had to survive a break point.
This time she is rewarded, waiting for the mistake to come. A shake of the head from Ostapenko. First break in this match to Angelique Kerber.
New balls, please. Miss Kerber leads 4 games to 3.
Live by the sword, you die by the sword. Sometimes you scratch your head, other times you watch in amazement. And usually it's all in the same match with Ostapenko. Kerber clearly is the steadier of the two. She's far less likely to beat herself.
And it just seems like, Kerber is so clear about how she wants to try to control play, and that's by letting Ostapenko sort of self-destruct when it matters most. And under pressure, that's when you want to make a player hit those same shots that they may hit very easily at 1-all or 2-1. Very different story when the set tightens up.
And the risk in that is that if you wait for the mistake to come and then Ostapenko gets on a run where she is hitting winners and finding her targets, then you'll be punished. But it's fascinating to watch these two contrasting approaches, contrasting styles.
Halep, when they played at the French, had that same type of plan. It was up 6-2, 3-love with a point for 4-love. And when she got hot, she didn't know what hit her. So you've got to keep that focus.
15-love.
And it seems like it would be a fine line between the way Kerber plays, but also looking for opportunities when they happen, when they come up.
30-love. 40-15.
That time Ostapenko was waiting on that wide serve. Maybe she heard you.
Let's hope she hears me on break point instead of 40 love down.
That's where Ostapenko has been so good.
40.
She's gotten better and better each match at being aggressive on the serve, almost taking the racket out of Kerber's hand.
Unbelievable. Can't relax when you play her. I think you have this easy game,
Yes.
40 love. She makes 3 errors. Suddenly you look up, it's deuce. It's good serve.
Advantage Miss Kerber. Game is Kerber.
There's that swinging serve out wide once again to see out this service game. Back up that break.
Miss Kerber leads 5-3 first set.
So Ostapenko with much to do here. Serving to stay in this first set.
Love 15.
Shuffled long by Kerber, but the drop shot again from Ostapenko.
When a drop shot's 6-8 feet above the net, that usually means you're in trouble. So she got away with that.
Drop shots from Ostapenko, though, give you the sense that she's not sure where to go within the rallies. Once Kerber blunts the pace, the initial pace, the first 2 or 3 balls, Ostapenko's a little uncertain out there right now. That's a good play. Not the standard volley, but just as effective. Shortening points and taking advantage of the heavy depth from Ostapenko.
Let's for service.
Not a lot of rallies, more than 2 or 3 balls. And so certainly get the feeling the longer the point goes, when and if that happens, Kerber's got decided edges. She's 33 minutes only set point.
Miss Ostapenko is changing the call on the left pass line.
Today, much clearer about making first serves, winning a good percentage of points off of first serves. Of course, she's consolidated her breakpoint opportunities, but the winners to unforced errors, she's played so clean, Kerber. She has given almost nothing away, and it's all up to Ostapenko to make the adjustments.
We'll talk about Ostapenko. She was a competitive ballroom dancer in her younger days. I wonder if she had the same approach with a sort of aggressive, all-out, high-risk Viennese waltz.
Something tells me yes.
This is a particularly forthright polka.
But, you know, you just showed Kerber's first serve percentage. So pretty apparent when you're 90%. You're sort of making sure you get the first in. And the lefty likes to go out wide. She's got to cut off that ball. She's not going to, you know, hit aces up the middle of the court. She's got to position herself better, Ostapenko. Especially if she's going to try to hit it as hard as she
Second
has.
set, Miss Kerber to serve.
But it is Angelique Kerber, finalist a couple of years ago. She lost to Serena Williams, and she's halfway there. And again, the signs of frustration from Ostapenko, the long stares at her support crew.
And there is some brilliance in there. Just has to happen more frequently for Ostapenko.
15-all.
That's an example of her playing safer. More margin. Crowd's pulling for it. They want to see a three-setter. That's just
30-15.
net. Inexplicable there. Except that she's in the center court at Wimbledon in the semis for the first time.
Miss Ostapenko is challenging the ball on the right baseline. The ball's called out.
We will soon find out.
Wow.
40-15. Miss Ostapenko has 2 challenges remaining. Game is Kerber.
And a fairly comfortable service game for Kerber to start. She is looking pretty good at the moment.
First game, second set.
Yeah, it was a very nice play that Kerber made on that last point, being the first person to change direction. It's another way for Kerber to be a little more aggressive and try to dictate. She's definitely in a rhythm, although she can't relax because of the style of opponent she's playing against. Ostapenko can turn things around, and in a point or two, Kerber looking very solid.
When she's gotten used to this pace, she's really settled in beautifully. Excellent work in that first set handily.
Let for service.
Talked about how Ostapenko turned things around in that French Open final, and one of the things that's so dangerous about her is when she relaxes, when she starts forgetting about winning and losing, she can get right back into matches.
At the moment, she's stressed, feeling a lot of frustration and pressure. Not happening for her.
Again, ball back in court from Kerber. Mistake comes from the shaking head of Ostapenko.
Well, and the ball's coming at her just a little quicker. Kerber hits fairly flat, not a lot of spin, so Ostapenko doesn't have a lot of time. You can sense that she's feeling rushed.
She should have hit. She had a great chance for a winner. Looked pretty easy up the line. Had Kerber on her heels.
15-14.
Tries to go back behind her and just gets burned. That could be costly there.
2 break points.
Saves one of them.
One more break point for Angelique Kerber.
Game is Kerber.
And there it is. There's still a chance for Ostapenko, of course there is. But racket on the turf. She looks a fairly disconsolate figure.
Miss Kerber leads 2-0, second set.
This is way more negative than she was when she played Halep at the French. When was down a set and a break. She's got her head, her focus, her intensity back.
This is a court, in the center court Wimbledon, where when things start going downhill, they can seem to go even quicker than on any other court.
It's almost a routine now. The mistake comes, the turn to the box, the look, the muttering. It's almost as if she half expects it to happen.
Yeah, it's the doubts starting to creep in. And on the other side of the court, Kerber is just solid as a rock.
11 Kerber gets that low. She literally
30-15.
on the ground when she hits this ball. Look at this. It's a beautiful thing to watch. I mean, it's the closest I've ever seen to Ostapenko. Looks like she's going to break into tears.
Game is Kerber.
That's so comfortable for Angelique Kerber at the moment.
Miss Kerber leads 3-0, second set, and by 1 set to love.
So again, we talk about the best players, and the most experienced players are able to change things during matches, but also the best players don't show quite so much negativity. Here's a look at Ostapenko's shot placement.
Well, she started out pretty well, actually. She was dictating and controlling the points from the ground. She had that excited feeling to her, like she could do some big things. But it's all come tumbling down. And the part that bothers me from in this booth is seeing her focus is completely gone right now. She's just, it looks like she doesn't want to be out there.
You can see there Kerber's shot placement just going for much more conservative areas of the court.
Time.
Yeah. I will say this one last time. She was a set and 3-love down when she won the Grand Slam. We just haven't seen her look like this on a tennis court. And she just gets some type of momentum. You know, the crowd really is feeling for her right there.
Ready for play.
It's an easy game. Keep it on the board. She didn't go for it.
15-all.
What happened there? Okay, maybe she thought it was going to go out.
Hoping it was going to go out.
And you can hear the noise, the support from the centre court crowd. Of course they want this to go on and be a contest. What matches we had yesterday, the Nadal Del Potro one on this court late into the evening.
We definitely expected more unforced errors from Ostapenko, but right now she is at an extremely negative differential. Kerber just 2 unforced. Make that 3.
Thank you, Chandler.
40-13.
I knew I would jinx it.
So there are. Ostapenko has a game on the board in this second set, and sometimes tennis matches can swing on little things, little moments. And there's something for
3-1 second set.
Something for Ostapenko to cling to and perhaps build on.
Well, it's just one break of serve right now. Has to be thinking about that.
She's playing it a little safer. She's holding back a little bit more. The crowd's giving her a rush. I mean, this is not over. Not after I saw last year.
Ostapenko actually pushed that return a bit. Didn't follow through, didn't get her racket head out into the court. Just a little tentative.
She's got to hit out more.
Yeah. Hit out, but be safe. Good adjustment.
15-13.
And so often, when you hit the ball big, you can't go halfway. You got to go for it fully. That's where the margin comes in, just pulling your shots in a little bit more.
shot. She puts that effectively.
30-all.
And that shot on grass for Kerber has been even more effective. It stays down and through the court.
Just pulling up way too soon. These forehands got to stay down through it.
Wow, unforced errors. Extraordinary number.
What an important hole for Kerber, because Ostapenko just sprang to life a little bit in the early stages of that game.
Miss Kerber leads 4-1 second set and by 1 set alive.
Whether it is the experience of Kerber, who's 7 times been at this stage in Grand Slam semi-finals, to that one from Ostapenko, the semi-final which took her to the final of the French, as John was talking about, against Simona Halep when Ostapenko was down. Similar position to this and came back, but have we seen enough signs of any confidence that she can do that?
To me, the body language has been much more negative, and the uncertainty has been more pronounced than it was there. It certainly appears far less likely. Even though Simona was playing the best of anyone on the clay at that time.
Time.
Hard pressed to believe that she could come back from this position. The way she's playing, the way, her intensity, her focus, to get more onto what's happening right here on the center court.
He's got a good coach now as well, Kerber and Wim Fissette. And Kerber was down last year. She was dropping down the rankings. So turned things around, and here she is, Ostapenko at 1-4.
That was a good play for Ostapenko. Early stages of the first set. And they're disguising it well. Last moment opening up the racket head.
There's Wim Fissette, Kerber's coach.
Miss Ostapenko is challenging the left center service line. The ball is pulled out.
She's actually, in a way, you give her credit for going to plan B, but this is, it's so different. She's really just pushing the ball.
15-all. Miss Ostapenko
not even going for anything on her serve. There you go.
13-15.
Biggest serve of the day.
It just seems like plan B on the grass would be trying to move in a little bit more, even if it was taking the swinging volleys out of the air when she has the chance. For Ostapenko, just mixing it up a little bit more behind those big ground strokes. And that way, that shot, instead of it needing to be a winner, you're playing for the second ball. If you know you're going to be moving in and taking it out of the air. Much more difficult to do while a match is going on, but it's not looking great for Ostapenko right now.
Providing her own commentary as well now, and what a moment 2 breaks in this match would be.
Great defense from Kerber, earns the break, and so close now to the final.
That's a shame. It's been a shame. Well, there's a ball she should have taken in the air for sure.
5 games to 1 second.
She's lost. Her head hasn't been in the second set.
I think her head is spinning now. Kerber for the match.
What a professional job by Kerber. Let your opponent self-destruct.
Kerber would have known that OSTAPENKO would hit a lot of winners in this match, and she just accepted it. Not changed her mentality.
30-15.
Perhaps there is still life in OSTAPENKO at the very last.
Is it to be just a last flicker?
She'll have break point.
Yes.
That serve has worked very effectively. OSTAPENKO's position there has been pretty so-so, I've got to say. Just been abused by that shot.
And deuce.
Good effort to hang tough. 30 love down. Battling. Had a break there when it clipped the line, caused the miss hit.
And break point. OSTAPENKO again.
Yes.
Good serving today from Kerber. Still about 80% for the match. Mixing it up just enough. Under an hour. She'll take that. In the Wimbledon final again.
So, match point for Angelique Kerber and a place in the final.
OSTAPENKO still firing. Last defiant gasps from the Latvian.
Yes.
Kerber wasn't expecting it. Come back where it did, was unprepared to hit it. So at least give Kerber something to think about here. If she could hang on and break.
And there is the break now for OSTAPENKO. Waves an arm to the crowd. Perhaps in frustration as much as anything else. A smile from her mother, from her coach. Applause from all. She still has the most slender of hopes.
Kerber leads 5-2, second set, and by 1 set to love.
Just anger as much as anything else that it's taken so long, and perhaps might not be enough, but at least it's something.
Yeah, it's a lot of emotions flying through that 21-year-old body of hers. The upside for the future seems tremendous. I got a chance to hit with her last year at the U.S. Open, and boy, did she hit a big ball, and she knows she needs to work on other parts of her game, and she's working to do that. And she'll be the better woman for this, win or lose, and try to go back to the drawing board. You can see even at 6'3", 5'1", 30 love, she still goes out, competes. When she looks at the tape, she'll be disappointed, to me, if she loses, and we presume that's what's going to happen, that she let it go mentally for such a long period of time in that second set. She can't afford that against the best players.
Still has to hold to stay in this championship.
OSTAPENKO wants.
It's got just a few doubts to creep into the previously serene mind of Kerber.
I'd say there's a couple creeping in it as we speak. As she looks like she's going to have to serve it out again. It's starting to get interesting.
40 love. PT.
Shonda, you're going to get in shape, you know, because we send you out to the
I'm back.
Court. You're back. You're back. You should break, hold. You know, we don't know what to do.
I'm getting a workout.
There it is now for OSTAPENKO, so the pendulum switches back to Kerber. Can she serve it out this time?
Kerber leads 5-3, second set.
The challenge for Kerber here is she really doesn't have a finishing shot. Can she use her serve effectively here?
Now centre court's interest is peaked.
Love 15.
Oh, brilliant. And again, as John was talking, getting down so well to that one.
15-all.
Not easy to do at all. Beautiful timing there. Frustration starting to build with Kerber, who's at the match point to be a cruise to the finals. That's the serve that's bailed her out when she's needed it.
30-all.
That's a little bit of the inexperience of Ostapenko. That's a time to make that return.
Looked out. Guess what? We're about to be back on serve.
13-14. Kerber's turn to feel this pressure.
Yes.
That serve just got into the left hip of Ostapenko. She didn't get away from it.
Once more, Kerber just 2 points away.
Ostapenko, second serve to chomp at.
Advantage, Miss Kerber.
Couldn't manage it, and Kerber so close once again to the final.
Once again, and Ostapenko blows herself out. It is Kerber who is the first to claim her ticket to centre court on Saturday. She will play in the Wimbledon final. Took just a little bit longer than we thought a few games ago, but Angelique Kerber, clinical, calmer, more controlled, and thoroughly deserving of her place.
Those last few games really showed why Kerber has quietly been one of the more consistent players this year. I mean, she held her ground, held her nerve under the most extreme pressure. When it looked like Ostapenko was going to make a run back into the match, she played well. The latter stages just didn't have enough consistency, Ostapenko, but good tournament for her. But it was Kerber who was just too solid over the course of this match.
I have a lot of respect for Angelique Kerber, the way she was able to get those two slams, the final here, struggled with the expectation, the way she's battled back as strongly as she has, and I got to say I'm disappointed from what I saw from Ostapenko. I thought I'd see a little bit more intensity, and I thought her focus really cost her in the end. And it didn't seem like that one moment she had a chance to get back in that set, but outcome not really in doubt.
And a very quick departure from centre court for Jelena Ostapenko. Quick wave to the crowd and gone. And you could see how frustrated she was. A big hitting, big talent, but just blew herself out today. And Kerber sat and waited and played exactly the right kind of game.
No question. Very well prepared. Did what she had to do. You've got to give credit where credit is due. She is she's a Hall of Fame, future Hall of Famer you're looking at.
So she will go through to play either Julia Gerges or Serena Williams next up on centre court, but it is Angelique Kerber who will be there on Saturday. 6-3, 6-3, 2 sets of 34 minutes, and let's get her thoughts now, talking to Rishi Persad.